Hello, everyone. My name is Zulfiqar, and welcome to another episode of Income Investors. With me today is John Whitefoot. But before we go into any details, I want to let you know that anything you hear in this video is for information and educational purposes only. Nothing in this video should be taken as personalized investment advice. Investing comes with risk. To read more about it, please see the description below. If you also want to read about what John writes on a regular basis, you could head directly to www.incomeinvestors.com. While you're there, you could also sign up for our free reports that get delivered to your inbox directly. Fears of a recession probably made investors take a pass on Nordic American Tankers Ltd, traded on New York Stock Exchange under symbol NAT, a company we last profiled back in early June. And to be honest, on some level, it made sense. With fear of recession, you wouldn't think about marine shipping stock would be a great idea. After all, ships have commodities and products, and if demand isn't there, earnings would be impacted. But here at Income Investors, we had a good feeling that things were going to pick up for Nordic American Tankers, and they have. On August 9th, NAT stock hit a 52 weeks high of $4.48. That represents a 26% increase over our June profile price of $3.56. Thanks to high earnings, the company's dividend is also on the rise. It just announced a third quarter dividend of 13 cents per share, up from 3 cents in the same quarter last year. And thanks to one big industry dynamic, it looks like Nordic American Tanker stock and dividend could both be on the rise over the next 2 to 3 years. So, John, let me ask, what is going on at Nordic American Tankers?
Nordic American Tanker, as the name sort of implies, it's a marine shipping company that acquires and charters double hull tankers in Bermuda and internationally. It currently operates a fleet of 19 Suezmax crude tankers. In fact, it only has Suezmax tankers in its fleet. These are medium-sized oil tankers. They're larger than Aframax, but smaller than a very large crude carrier or VLCC. They are the largest ship, though, that can transit the Suez Canal, and that's the artificial waterway that connects the Mediterranean Sea with the Red Sea in the Middle East. Suezmax tankers are around 900 feet long and have a capacity of 120,000 to 200,000 deadweight tonnage. Now, as an oil tanker, that means it can carry around 800,000 to more than 1 million barrels of oil.
And now, what is it exactly that should help Nordic American stock over the coming years?
Well, really, there are still a couple reasons why investors should keep Nordic American Tanker on their radar. First, oil prices may be down from the March 2022 highs of 130 per barrel at more than 80 per barrel right now. But because of ongoing OPEC plus supply cuts, record demand and consumption, crude oil could hit $100 per barrel by the end of the year. Some even predict that crude oil could hit at 120 per barrel. Now, second, and the main reason why Nordic American Tanker is entering, as the company says, historic period, it's because of the global scarcity of Suez tankers. The world Suezmax fleet was 578 vessels at the end of June 2023, with only 42 vessels or 7% of the global fleet on order through 2027. By any measure, that's a historically low order book. Right now, there are only 4 Suezmax tankers for delivery for the balance of 2023, and only 6 tankers are in the order books for 2024. For comparison, in 2022 alone, there were 32 Suezmax tankers delivered. And over the next number of years, the reemergence of India and Asia following the pandemic are expected to have a pretty serious impact on global oil markets.
John, let me ask this very simple question, I guess. Why not just order more Suezmax tankers?
Yeah, that is a good question and seems pretty straightforward, but the available shipyard capacity has to a large extent already been booked by container, gas, and dry bulk ships, leaving very limited capacity to build additional Suezmax tankers with quality yards until at least 2026. And that's good news for companies like Nordic American Tanker.
Now, let's dig into numbers here a little bit. How did this company do in the second quarter of 2023?
In the second quarter, Nordic American reported net income of $26.8 million or 13 cents per share. In the second quarter of 2022, Nordic American Tanker actually reported a net loss of $4 million or a loss of 2 cents per share. Net operating income this year was up significantly at $34.1 million. That's compared with just $1.9 million in the same period last year. Year-to-date operating income was $88.8 million versus a year-to-date operating loss of $19 million in 2022. Now, the average time charter equivalent or TCE rate for its entire fleet during the second quarter of 2023 came in at $39,300 per day. That's up 95% from a second quarter 2022 TEC rate of $20,080 per day per vessel. And now the average time charter equivalent rate for its 15 spot vessels was $43,200. Going forward, according to the company, their last press release, they said 57% of its spot voyage days in the third quarter were booked at an average TCE of $34,800 per day per ship. Now 15 of its 19 vessels are in the spot market. As another bonus to the company's bottom line is that Nordic American also has one of the lowest debt levels among publicly traded tanker companies, with debt of 159 million, or just 8.4 million per ship. Of course, the company's objective is to become debt free.
How does this all help its dividend?
Well, in the words of management, higher earnings results in higher dividends, and Nordic American is known throughout the industry for its reliable dividend. In fact, it's paid a dividend for 105 consecutive quarters. Most recently, in the third quarter, it announced a dividend, as we already noted, of 13 cents per share. The dividend is payable on October 5th to shareholders of record of September 14th, 2023. Now, so far in 2023, Nordic American has declared 43 cents per share in dividends. Over the first 3 quarters of 2022, the same period of time, it paid out just 6 cents per share. So as you can see, higher earnings do indeed result in higher dividends. Its current dividend yield is 14.6%. That's 370% higher than the current inflation rate of 3.1%, and significantly higher than the average S&P 500 dividend yield, which is just a paltry 1.5%.
Now let's talk about how is NAT Stock doing?
Again, to quote management, higher earnings mean higher dividends. Higher earnings also juice investor optimism. As noted earlier, NAT stock has climbed 26% over our previous profile price. Nordic American stock is also, well, it's retraced a little bit from those levels to around $4.20 per share, but they're still up 45% in 2023 and roughly 70% over the last year. Even with those gains, though, management thinks its stock is a steal. In August alone, the company's founder, chairman, and CEO, Herbjorn Hansen, he purchased 100,000 shares of Nordic American for total holdings of 4.25 million shares. His son, Alexander, who is a board member, owns 2.15 million shares, and this makes the entire Hansen family the largest private shareholder in the company. Are their insider purchases astute? Wall Street analysts think so, with a 12-month share price target of between $4.97 and $6. Now, hitting $6 per share would put Nordic American Tanker stock at its highest trading level since around 2016.
John, thank you so much for your analysis. Our opinion on Nordic American Tanker Ltd hasn't changed since June. As the owner of the largest fleet of Suezmax tankers in the world, Nordic American Tanker has strong balance sheet and is reporting impressive earnings growth. The outlook is more impressive. Just so you know, there's a shortage of Suezmax ships, and shipyard capacity is not expected to address it until at least 2026. As a result of the shortage of Suezmax vessels, strong oil demand, low inventory ahead of winter, and geopolitical tensions have provided interesting dynamics for Nordic American and its oil tankers. And this bodes well for Nordic American Tanker stock and its dividend. We'll be back soon with another video, so stay tuned. In the meantime, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Goodbye for now.